Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a special program on Operation Naloxone and it'll be a perspective from our student Jennifer. I'll let her introduce herself before we go on.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Dela Pena. I'm a P3 student at the University of Houston College of Pharmacy. And my P2 year, or my second year of pharmacy school, I was really involved in an initiative known as Operation Naloxone at the U of H chapter. And with that, I was involved as the outreach coordinator in the organization.
Great. Can you tell how did you get involved with the Naloxone initiative, and then what is it for those that don't know?
Yeah. So just a quick overview. Operation Naloxone started as an initiative through the University of Texas at Austin's College of Pharmacy. And with that, we decided to start our own chapter or start our own initiative within the chapter, within the SCCP chapter at the University of Houston College of Pharmacy. So we have an initiative known as Operation Naloxone. We're running directly under the Operation Naloxone at UT Austin. And what they do is they donate naloxone to like the local community and then also educate everyone on opioid overdoses and about opioid awareness too as well. And so that's what we do to the local community. And we give 1 hour, lectures to the community, and we teach them about what is an opioid, how do I know what an opioid overdose is, and how likely are people to get opioid overdoses. And also, how do you respond if you do see someone who has an opioid overdose? And also, where can you get naloxone? And if we do have naloxone on hand, we do donate it to the sites as well.
Okay. So for those that don't know, naloxone is basically a medication help to, again, prevent or reverse the overdose of these pain medication that can potentially be very life-threatening or putting people in coma or even cause death. So that's why there's a huge, with the opioid crisis, there's a huge effort to prevent these types of adverse outcome. Can you go over kind of what you mentioned, what kind of things you teach folks regarding the opioid? How would someone recognize is an opioid overdose?
Yeah, so we give a 1 hour long lecture to the community, and it's just a PowerPoint about what is an opioid, how to recognize signs and symptoms of an opioid overdose. And with that, if you see someone who has taken too much opioids, they are kind of in a coma. They're really hard to arouse. Even if you give them like the sternal rub, they still don't wake up. And they also could have like this snoring noise where it's hard for them to breathe. It's kind of known as the death rattle. And so those are some of the things that we teach through the Operation Naloxone lecture, or the little session that we give. And then we also are able to show them how to respond with naloxone. And we do have Narcan that we can let them practice on, and even the self-assembly naloxone that they can assemble to. And there's even like races to see who can quickly assemble it and then pretend to give them naloxone. And we also have a pretend FZO, or I guess the training FZO, which is the naloxone injectable version. And so that way they can also practice injecting Narcan.
And where are the community that you go see?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah. So where in the community that you go see and teach the naloxone operation to?
Yeah, so we teach, so it's a bit of a range. So we teach like children as young as like 6th grade. So I think around that age, they're around 12. And then also all the way up to like college students. So we teach at like local high schools or even high schools outside of the area, close to like Cypress or Pearland or even Sugarland. And we also teach in like different rehabilitation and hospital centers and even apartment complexes, just really anywhere in the community that would take us, and even organizations on campus, we do present to them. So really anywhere in the community that is willing to listen and hear and to what we have to say.
And what are 3 lessons learned that you have throughout your involvement with this program that you want to share with the team?
Yeah, so 3 lessons. So someone asked me one question that I thought was pretty, I guess, profound. So one student asked me, why should I buy naloxone if I don't know anyone in my family who's likely to have an opioid overdose? Like, am I likely to see someone in the middle of the street with an overdose? And do you just expect me to spend my own money to carry naloxone? And I guess that really made me understand, because we were here advocating, or we're advocating for everyone to buy naloxone, because you can readily buy it over the counter, or not over the counter, but at any pharmacy. You can ask for it without a prescription, and you can get that. And sometimes it goes through insurance. Sometimes you still have to pay like $20 to $30. And so a student was asking me, why should I buy it if I don't have anyone in my family? But I think one lesson I learned was that it's kind of like something that you should do for the good of the community. And it's, if you feel like you think you can make a difference by carrying naloxone on you, then it's a pretty good thing to keep on. It's like keeping like an EpiPen, or keeping something even though you don't have anyone in your family or anyone who's likely to have it. Or just like, the analogy that we use is to keep a fire hydrant in a house or in a school. Like, you don't expect a fire to happen, but it's nice to keep it as a preventative measure. Same thing with anyone in the local community to have it. Like, you don't expect a random stranger to have an opioid overdose, but it's still nice if you have something on hand just in case it does happen. So I guess, yeah, one lesson I learned was to know that we're doing it for like the good of the community. That's like one of the biggest lessons I learned. The second lesson that I learned, and this is just more like being an officer or in the organization, is that if you're not enthusiastic about teaching about naloxone, then your audience isn't going to be enthusiastic about it either. So there are some times I had to teach in the local community, and I felt like I wasn't getting through to the students, or I wasn't getting through to my audience. And it's just helping them understand how much of a pandemic or an epidemic this is, the opioid epidemic is, so that they could truly understand how important and how much they need to make a difference. And so really just trying to be fully there, like when I'm presenting, or just like as passionate as I could possibly be, in hopes that my message will be sent across to them. And so that's my second lesson. My third lesson is, I think those two are the ones that are coming to me the most. But this last year, my second year of pharmacy school, was the first year that the organization initiative was created, because we're an initiative under SCCP. And creating the initiative was just like a bunch of, there were a bunch of bumps, but I think having a really strong officer team and a really strong team beside me, we were all really passionate about this initiative, so it was really easy for us to like really build a strong foundation. So I think I was just really lucky to have a really passionate team with me.
Thank you. And then last question before we close out. In terms of for the public members or patients or people of the community who wants to learn more about Operation Naloxone, what is one resource you would recommend for them to go into and look at, and how to be a part of the team to prevent and reduce the opioid epidemic?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find the website. Okay. Yeah. So Operation Naloxone, you can find them on, I'll give you the link, but it's uhsccp.weebly.com. And that link will bring you to the Operation Naloxone page. And there you can, you can ask to be a site that we can present at, because really we're trying to send our message across to everyone else. I'm no longer an officer there. I was an officer my first year, but I know that we would be more than willing and more than interested to present and teach you about it, so that way you can, spread that message across to other people if you wanted to as well.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. We really appreciate you sharing on that and your perspective. And the reason I want to do this one, because with the opioid crisis, I know COVID-19 has been on the radar for us, but the opioid crisis doesn't go away. And these are something that as a pharmacist and pharmacy students, we work together to with other healthcare providers and the community to combat the opioid crisis, and just to be, one, empower you with the knowledge and the facts, and two, for you to take actions when you're needed. With that thank you for tuning in. I hope this has been helpful. Make sure you subscribe now to this channel for more videos to come. And I want to build a community for us to support each other. And with this Coaching Coins, we really try to empower you on career and finance. So until then, I'll see you next time.